but I still feel that all 14 clubs should be swung. That hasn't changed, and nor will it ever.
My take is the statistics really don't show that it's a huge advantage. I think it does improve a poor putter, but I don't want to drive anybody away from the game of golf. And now that it's been around for so long, I play with plenty of amateurs that use it, and I'd hate for them to have to figure out a new way to putt. Maybe it hurts their back more or whatever, or maybe it drives some guys away from the Champions Tour that are still thriving, and they might decide to retire early, and that's not good for the game either.
I can almost hear the carnival barker now. Step right up, come see the greatest golf club ever. Well, that's not much of an exaggeration at the annual PGA Merchandise Show in Orlando, Florida. That's where manufacturers go to show off their latest and greatest clubs. Chicago's own Tour Edge has been building quite a reputation with its exotics line. The new XCG6 driver has a traditional look with progressive adjustable settings: neutral, open, upright, and closed.
I love our new driver. It's our first adjustable driver for loft and face angle in our new exotics line. It's called the XCG6. It's a beautiful driver. It's all black, unlike some of the other colored stuff out here. So it's very classic and traditional looking, beautiful looking club, and you can adjust it a myriad of ways.
Wilson Golf is another Chicago-based manufacturer making big strides. The D in its new D line stands for distance. Its club weight is one of the lightest on the market, and the new TC wedges feature a tour-wide groove and are currently being played by 15 PGA Tour players.
Also, we have 11 laser-etched, what we call micro-spin lines between each groove. What that allows us to do is to maximize spin on partial shots. So the grooves help on full swings, and then the grooves help on partial swings as well, but that's when those micro spin lines get in there and really produce maximum swing on a half shot, a three-quarter, even chips really do something. The other great thing about these golf clubs is the two sole options. We have a traditional sole and a tour grind sole.
While Nike has garnered a lot of attention with its signing of Rory McIlroy, the new Tour and Performance fairway woods caught our eyes.
What's really cool about this is having a 3-wood now that you can adjust from 13 up to 17, and a 5-wood that goes from 17 to 21. So whether you're playing a tight golf course where you want sort of a driving 3-wood, you can move it to 13 that day, or the next day if you're playing a golf course that has elevated greens where you want to fly it in high, you can move to 16 or 17, or you can just play it as a standard 15.
If you're a hybrid kind of player, then Adams Golf may be the way to go. Adams has 2 new versions this year. The Super S has a lower center of gravity and a more forgiving face for the high handicapper. And for the more accomplished player, there's the Super LS.
So the Super LS is targeted toward tour players, better players, people with higher swing speeds. It has a little bit less spin than the Super S product. So, those types of players typically don't need that extra spin like the up-the-gut golfer at a 15 handicap. And that one, is obviously going to need that, so that would be the Super S hybrid that we would recommend for them.
Last but not least, there's TaylorMade and its popular new R1 driver. It's an all-in-one driver which can be adjusted from 8 degrees all the way to 12 degrees. And this compass-like knob is actually a sole plate that points you in the right direction on the course, allowing you to change the face angle from open to closed.
The face angle sole plate adjusts how the club sits on the ground. And we know that how the club sits on the ground is how the golfer is going to perceive the shot. And if they're not comfortable with the way it looks, we can change that. It's got great flexibility. It's got 7 different positions, going from 4 degrees open to 4 degrees closed. So you can really dial it in wherever you want.
It's certainly a game of adjustments, and there are plenty of choices again in 2013. We'll have more new products from the annual PGA show in May on Chicago District Golfer. Well, finally, Kevin Streelman has done it. After 153 starts on the PGA Tour, he's a winner at the Tampa Bay Championship. And to think he grew up in Wheaton, Illinois, playing the area's public courses like Arrowhead and Cantini. Outsiders don't think of Illinois as PGA Tour breeding ground, but things are starting to change thanks to a few tour players like Streelman and the various golf associations throughout the state.
It's just neat to see that. It didn't seem right to just have me and Mark and DA out here, but it's cool to see the junior golf in general is just so great. But I was such a big fan and supporter of the Illinois Junior Golf Association. I grew up in that and the Chicago District Golf Association, and I just grew up playing the amateur stuff. And so to see the fruits of that with some other people is great.
It seems fitting that a Chicago area guy like Streelman would play clubs made by a legendary Windy City company.
This is my third year with Wilson. I play all the irons and wedges. They have a new hybrid, actually a whole new line of the FG Tour woods that are going to be real world class. That'll be out in about 2 months. And so they just have a couple pieces coming out now that I got to hit last week when we were filming our new commercial and loved them. Speaking
of equipment, Streelman weighs in on the anchored putter debate. It's a hot topic these days. The PGA Tour wants to keep it, the USGA wants to ban it.
I don't want to see any rule come in play that hurts the general public and hurts the game of golf in general. I think the game of golf is it's in a good place globally. I think we need to do all we can to support each other and grow the game, which is the PGA of America's job. And I think it's our job to kind of represent the game out on television and in front of the public. And so I don't see why you take anything away from someone that's already been there at this point.
Thanks to his first tour win last month, it looks promising that Streelman will be coming home to tee it up at the BMW Championship in September. The FedEx Cup event will be held at Conway Farms in Lake Forest.
That's definitely was one of the first things I saw this year, and I guess I had a nice start in that regard, but it's going to take a lot more work and good play, and I'd really love to get back there. It'd be a rocking tournament.
Perseverance has really paid off for Streelman. After years on the mini tours, burning up 3 cars while traveling some 300,000 miles traveling across the country, he has that first tour victory. Well, up next, we'll check out the men's college scene and preview an exciting ladies event coming to Chicagoland.